30 triathlons in 30 days.
I'd be too scared to take my shirt off in front of my mates, like had no self-confidence.
Do you know how hard this is going to be?
Yeah, I'd like, back of my mind I do, the front of my mind I'm like, oh, it's not going to be that hard.
Have you drawn a lot of inspiration from the likes of Ned Brockman and some of these guys that have done big challenges?
Yeah, definitely. And I'm not trying to be anyone, but I'm trying to be myself. But you look at people like that and you think, oh shit, these big goals are achievable. If people get up and move and just do something, even for that month, or I can motivate people to do something, I just know up here will help them out a lot. So I think it was 4:30 and I'm rolling through the valley up Brunswick Street and there's just people strolling out of the club and I was like, that used to be me.
Welcome to the Better Bloke Podcast. I'm Matty.
I'm Rob.
And we're just a pair of average blokes on a mission to try and be a little bit less average.
We're going to speak about all things highs and lows of what it feels like to be a bloke, plus speak to some legends along the way about what it takes to be a better bloke. Let's get stuck in. Welcome back to the Better Bloke Podcast, where today is a very special bonus episode because we are joined by Nate Schmid, who is about to set off and complete 30 triathlons in 30 days, all raising valuable funds for what we're doing with the Better Bloke Project. So, yeah, welcome, Nate.
Hey, thanks guys, thanks for having me.
No worries, mate. Now, what you're doing is like somewhat of a superhuman feat. Like, I can barely run 5K, let alone doing what you're doing.
Don't worry, I was there one day.
So maybe there's hope for us, that's what you're saying?
Oh, if you try enough, you'll get it.
So 30 triathlons in 30 days. Mm-hmm. So what does this look like in terms of the distances? Like, what's the benchmark for a triathlon?
Yeah, so for the triathlon I'm choosing to do is Olympic distance, which is a 1.5 kilometre swim, followed by a 40 kilometre bike ride, and then finish off with a nice and easy 10K run.
That sounds horrendous.
So I used to think that, but now I've fallen in love with it. So I've set the challenge of doing this in April, and
yeah. So every single day for the month of April.
Yeah, correct. So, and for the first 2 weeks of April, I'll be doing my job as a tiler in construction and completing the Olympic distance. So I'm looking at breaking it up, doing a 10K run in the morning or the 40 kilometre bike ride, work my 8 to 9 hours, and then in the afternoon I'll do the other leg and the 1.5K swim. So
that sounds harder than actually doing it all in one hit, actually going on to construction site and working all day.
I think that makes it feel pretty special, that the relatability side of it, that you're one of us. Yeah. You work a job.
Yeah, I don't think I'm no superhero or anything, so I appreciate that comment before, but I'm just an everyday bloke.
You want to do hard shit though. It's like, this is going to be hard, but you're still working throughout this. Like that's pretty special.
Yeah, so it'll be hard, but yeah, I'm keen to see where I can take my body and mental mind. So
we've had some discussions about it. You don't class yourself as a super athlete.
Look at me, I'm just an everyday bloke, I think.
What led you down this endurance?
I never used to really train or like go to gym. I used to play soccer like when I was a kid, and then I just sort of got overweight and I don't know, didn't really care. And then two of my mates got me back into gym, and then I would always go from like powerlifting or bodybuilding, CrossFit. I never really fell in love with anything. And then there's a PT at the gym I go to. He's a triathlon coach, and I said to him one day, I was like, oh, fuck, I think I want to do a triathlon. And he said, yeah, well, quicker you do it, the better. And then, yeah, here I am.
Did you just dive straight into doing a triathlon, or was that something you did train for?
I think it was February 23, so just over 2 years ago, I started training. I think I was training for 5 or 6 weeks, and I did my first ever, I think it's called an Enticer triathlon. It's 400 metre swim, 20K bike ride, and a 7K run maybe, something like that. I might be wrong on the distance. And yeah, I did that, won my weight class, and then from then fell in love with it. So yeah, here we are.
The triathlon's interesting because it's obviously swim, bike, run.
Yep.
And a lot of guys might go out for a run, but I think maybe the swimming aspect would cause some grief.
Yeah, well, when I first started training, I couldn't swim 50 metres without stopping. Like I couldn't do one lap of a 50 metre pool, and yeah, now I can do it comfortably. So
what's that process been like, actually getting your skills up in different areas?
Taking it back to the basics, learning how to swim again. Like I used to swim during school, but once you stop, you lose it just like that. So I had my triathlon coach who ran me through swimming, like learning how to swim again. I'd do 2 to 3 times a week, just focusing on heaps of flipper work, which people think's cheating, but it's how you build your base and learn how to swim. And then, yeah, so it's a lot of time in the pool.
That's one of those things that like everyone will probably get in the water and they're so used to just like, oh no, splashing around and doing that.
Style.
Yeah. But when it actually comes to legitimately swimming,
it's very technical, like how you breathe, how you stroke, and everything like that. So, bit of an eye opener when you hop in and just do a lap, and you get 20 meters down. You're like, so.
And it's not like when you go for a run, you can just start walking to calm
exactly.
down.
You're in the water. You need to keep afloat, or you're going down. Yep, correct. So, yeah.
You jumped into other stuff after that first triathlon and pretty much worked your way up all the way to doing an Ironman.
Yeah. So, June last year, I did my first ever full distance Ironman. So, I think it was about 18 months of training to got me to do my Ironman. And, set a goal of sub 12 hours. And, I got it in 11 hours 48 and I think 52 seconds, if I remember correctly. And, the feeling after that was, it gives me goosebumps talking about it. So, it was awesome.
We were chatting earlier about your mind frame when you were actually doing it, and you said at the start, you're like, shit, I'm probably not going to make it through this thing.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk us through the
an Ironman is 3.8 kilometre swim, open water, and in Cairns I was shitting myself a bit about crocodiles and sharks. So you do that, and then you do a 180 kilometre bike ride up to Palm Cove and back, and then you have to do a 42k run, so marathon, which is pretty hard. And the first 10 kilometres, so it was 4 10-kilometre loops of the run course. And, the first 10 kilometres, in my head, I was like, I'm not going to be able to do this. Like, it's impossible. I can't do it. And then, when you see people, like your friends, your family, and you got people yelling out to you, it gives you a bit of motivation and a kick. And, from there, I somehow slugged my way to the finish line. So,
I think the thing that's remarkable about all of this is you're not a small unit.
Yeah.
Like when I think of a triathlon athlete or like an ultra endurance athlete, I don't think of someone who was built like a brick shit house. Like you're a unit.
Yeah, I think when I did my Ironman, I was 98 kilos. Well, about that. So probably shouldn't have been that heavy, but we still done it. So
is there like a goal of how you're actually going to go into this 30-day challenge?
For April, I'd like to start at around 95 kilos. I feel like that's a comfortable weight to move and like keep maintaining of. So
we'll see what you finish at. You're going to be eating like crazy.
I'll be eating like crazy, but I still think I'll be dropping a fair bit of weight because just the sheer fact of what I'm doing and the distances and day in, day out. So
I think that's the thing that we sort of spoke about before as well, was it's going to be, as much as it's a mental challenge, it's going to be a lot about the fatigue management because you are doing it day in, day out for 30 days.
30 days of it. So,
have you got anyone on board that's helping you with all these things? Like, so maybe just like a nutritionist, dietitian?
I haven't had a nutritionist since I've started doing triathlon, so it's about 2 years. Sort of just wing it. I get some idea off my coach, like how many carbs and that you need to eat, but it's all just in my mind, making up as I go. So. Yeah.
just a regular bloke trying to do some cool shit.
Exactly right. So, I've probably got a bit more prep work to do leading in, but we're only about 5 weeks away, so probably underprepared, but I'll over-deliver hopefully. So,
Love it. So, obviously, like, we've teed up and doing it with the Better Bloke project to sort of raise a bit of awareness and funding for men's well-being, men's mental health, as well as providing, I guess, motivation for dudes out there trying to take a step forward. What's your, I guess, background? You've been in the construction industry. You've seen boys go through a lot of shit. How does that resonate with you?
Well, even with me personally, back when I wasn't training or anything, I'd be too scared to take my shirt off in front of my mates. Like, had no self-confidence. Half my mates never seen me without a shirt on. It's only little things like that, but ever since I started training, moving, I don't know, it's got this confidence. I used to lift my shirt up at parties and I wasn't hiding away from the fact that I was happy with like my body and image. So if people get up and move and just do something, even for that month, or I can motivate people to do something, I just know up here will help them out a lot. So
you've just found like a new confidence because of your training.
Yeah,
that's unreal.
Yeah.
You're based in Brisbane.
Yeah.
So you're not going to be doing the whole thing in Brisbane though, are you?
So with my work in construction, we get 2 weeks off. Well, it's about 2 weeks off in April for Easter, which backs onto Anzac Day. So I've got my family in Hervey Bay, so I'm probably going to look at the first 2 weeks, obviously with work, I'll be based in Brisbane doing them here, but on the weekends I might go to the sunny coast or Goldie just to change it up and a bit of a mental refresh instead of doing it the same track, same place, same pool or like open water. So I'll do that. And then, in the other 2 weeks, I'll look at trying to go to like sunny coast, Gold Coast, Harvey Bay. And if anyone wants to jump on board, I'll post about it and they can come along for the run or swim or bike, whatever they choose to do.
I'm so excited for that momentum building. Like,
it's an open invite to anyone. I'll post where I am, the time. And if anyone wants to jump along, I'm more than happy to take you along.
You're a good swimmer, Matty. You're going to go do a 1.5 with him?
I reckon I could.
Here we go. All right.
And we're all sweet.
I reckon I would have a lot more luck doing that than trying to go for a 10K run.
I don't think I could do
at least on the run,
run.
you can walk. Remember that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I need the motivation of drowning to actually push me through. Maybe not.
We'll put Rob in there and just tell him to start drowning, motivate you to move on.
Look, if it works, it
might
works.
work, yeah.
Lots of support straight off the line from all your close friends.
Yeah, I think I've already... So we've set a goal between us. We were in talks. So 30 days, we thought maybe 30,000 is an achievable goal. And I think at the moment, last time I checked, we're just under 3,000, which I think we've only been up for a week and a half. So I think it's pretty impressive. And I appreciate everyone that's jumped on board, sent me messages, shared it around. So, keen to get it moving and see what we can do.
Yeah, super stoked with the initial response. And I think once you actually start doing it and people start...
That's the thing. People right now might think, he's not going to do it. So they see me fucking crying on day 10. They might think, I might give him $5. So.
I think that's something that we need to sort of touch on as well, because whenever we've spoken to you and it was like, do you know how hard this is going to be?
Yeah, I like back of my mind I do. The front of my mind I'm like, it's not going to be that hard. Like the distances seem achievable. It's just more the fact that it's going to be day in, day out. Got to go to work for the 2 weeks, so it's going to be hard like maintaining that as well. But I don't know, I like to set myself these big goals, and if people doubt me, they doubt me, but I like to prove them wrong and achieve them. So I'm keen to do that this April.
Yeah, I fully back you. I think you're going to get through it just
Appreciate
fine.
it.
Have you drawn a lot of inspiration from the likes of Ned Brockman and some of these guys that have done big challenges?
Yeah, definitely. And I'm not trying to be anyone, but I'm trying to be myself. But you look at people like that and you think, oh, shit, these big goals are achievable. And, especially with Ned, like you watch what he's done twice now, and it gives me goosebumps thinking about it. It's pretty inspirational. And there was another documentary I watched called Iron Cowboy. He did an Ironman for 52 days in 52 states in America, and that just it made me think I'm underprepared, but also made me think what I'm doing's little compared to like something like that. So
How much do you think that it's going to come down to like your mental fitness with this? Because you're doing the work physically.
Yeah.
Are you mentally fit enough for this?
I think I am. I've done a few. Like the New Year's Day just went. I set a goal and I told like all my mates and family that I was going to ride 250 kilometres on the bike, push bike, not a motorbike, everyone. And it took me 11 hours and mentally sitting in a seat just riding around Brisbane. It's not really 250 Ks around Brisbane to do, but I did it over 11 hours and mentally the feeling of finishing that, it was just like big sigh of relief and like, I don't know, it was rewarding. So I think I'm mentally fit, but we'll find out in April.
I think that's good. It's going to test your physical and your mental
definitely.
fitness. So, I'm excited. Yeah. I'm excited to just see you crush this.
Journey.
But I think that's the biggest thing, and it's. I'm hoping that we're getting just how relatable you are as a bloke through this conversation, because
even with my social media, if you'd have a look at that, I just pretty chill. I don't really worry about anything. So
you're one of the boys.
Yeah. I like to think that.
Yeah. So something that we discussed before we actually jumped on this podcast was when you were doing your 250, even during your training as well, you've mentioned that you'll cruise through the valley at like 3:30 in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning while you're training, and you're seeing guys walking out of these clubs.
Yeah, New Year's Day when I did the 250, I think it was 4:30, and I'm rolling through the valley up Brunswick Street, and there's just people strolling out of the club, and I was like, that used to be me. And I was just bit of reflection. You're like, I could still do that, but do I want to do that? Because it's probably not the best thing to do mentally. So
probably not while you're training for this anyway.
Yeah, definitely not. And still love a party, but everything. But from now up until the end of April, full 100% sober, because I know it's just not worth the old hangover headache. and just the way you feel after, it's not something you need in April when you're trying to do 30 triathlons in 30 days.
So as a, I guess, past party boy to an extent, and now going to this kind of clear mind, focus, because you got a goal, have you noticed much of a difference like in yourself, not only physically, but on the mental?
Yeah, you definitely clearer mentally, and even with relationships, they go a lot smoother because you're not snappy and like sort of stuff like that. So yeah, definitely feel way better.
Do you think it's something that you've experienced, it's probably going to change the way you conduct yourself through the rest of your life?
Yes and no. I don't think I ever want to stop having fun and not partying as such, but it will lead me to better things in life. But I still want to be able to take a step back and enjoy myself because it's what I like to do and that's what I've always liked to do. So it's all about the balance, I think. Don't go too hard on that and forget about the old fitness and everything like that.
Yeah. That's 100% it. I'm so excited to see how this all unfolds. So this has been, I guess, a short and sweet, not a recap, what's a pre-cap?
Preview
Preview of the 30-day challenge, the daily grind. So yeah, good luck with it. We're going to be behind it the whole way, keeping people up to date. All the links to your socials will be in the link for this video.
My Instagram that I'll be using is Try with Nathan, just TRI with Nathan. So if you want to have a look, give me a follow. Yeah, it's all there for you to see.
All the links are going to be there. Go follow it along, as well as the link to the page on the Better Bloke website where you can get behind the cause, drop some donations in there and help us get to that 30K target.
Yeah, let's smash that. Let's go bigger.
Let's get it.
Let's get it done. So thanks, guys, for watching. We'll come back with a recap kind of halfway through if you're able to actually.
If I can talk and want to look at you guys, we'll be keen.
So, until then, guys, thanks for watching. Jump online. We got all the events, the other podcasts we do on betterblokeproject.org, and you can find us on the socials at Better Bloke Project.
Just because this is a bonus episode doesn't mean that we don't finish the same way. As always, be better. Thanks for tuning into today's episode of Better Bloke. If you got anything out of it, show some love by dropping a 5-star review below.
If you want to learn more about everything we're doing, head to the description, hit the links and follow us on the socials. If you want to learn more about the project, head to betterblokeproject.org.